We want to thank you for being here tonight, and I want to call your attention to one portion of the program. We're going to call up the officers and the what we call council representatives of the Dale City Civic Association. Now, council representative is a representative from each neighborhood in Dale City. Now, you can see how many we have on the back of your program. We need more. The purpose of these people, these people are the voice of Dale City. We are known as the voice of Dale City. This is how we get that name. We need people to tell us what's going on in the neighborhood so we can do things about it, we can get things fixed. We really appreciate that. So if that's your niche, please come and help us out. We want to thank all of the first responders, the teachers, and the kids, and everybody here, all the nominees tonight. You're all winners. Thank you very much. Please stand for the presentation of the colors by the VFW Post 1503 Color Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Supervisor John D. Jenkins, followed by the invocation.
Please join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by Bishop Patrick Thomas of the Dale City Christian Church.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we bow before you this evening with gratefulness in our hearts. We thank you for the community of Prince William County. We thank you for every leader. We thank you for every family. And as we've gathered here today through this association, we ask for your blessings to be upon all that we do. We give thanks for the community efforts that are taking place through all of the honorees tonight. May you bless this event and may you draw us closer together as a community. We pray this in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, and let us all say amen.
Amen.
Pray, peace. Over.
I'm going to ask each of the council representatives and the Dale representative to raise your right hand and repeat after me. Say aye and repeat your name.
I, Jay Hicks,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
Or affirm. That I will faithfully. And diligently. Carry out all of my duties. As an officer. And/or council representative. Of the Dale City Civic Association. According. To the Constitution. Of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And the bylaws. Of the Dale City Civic Association. These duties I will perform to the best of my ability. So help me God. I declare you duly installed as officers of the Dale City Civic Association.
I gotta get my book.
Got to get close to it. Yeah, I would like to personally thank all the representatives and the new staff for their diligence, for their dedication to service. Everybody don't have the dedication that they should, and these people they are proven to be dedicated, and we really appreciate it. They do dynamite stuff for Dale City. We will now have introduction of special guests by Ms. Ernestine Jenkins, our first Vice President.
Good evening and welcome. Can you hear me? No. James, turn this thing on. It didn't go. I don't want to hold it.
It went off. There you go.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm good.
Go.
Okay, welcome to our wonderful annual awards recognition where we recognize so many wonderful people. And I, at this time, would like to quickly recognize people who have taken so much time out of their busy schedules to be with us tonight, as all of you have. At first, the head table, we have Mrs. Patty Beatty, secretary, and her friend, Linda Purvin, at this end. And we have Mrs. Monique Ralston, who is our second vice president of the Dale City Civic Association.
People in the back can see.
I'm sorry?
People in the back can see.
People in
the back cannot see. They don't stand up.
Okay, again, we're gonna start, because you can't see in the back, and all of you must stand when I call your name. Patty Beatty, secretary. And her friend Linda. And, what's your last name? And Mrs. Monique Radcliffe. I'm sorry, I apologize. Second vice president. And our newly elected, wonderful Neabsco District School Board member, Diane Ralston. And our treasurer of our Dale City Civic Association, Mrs. Joanne Westall. And the wonderful former delegate, David Brickley and Lori. You'll hear about them more. And who else but our wonderful Congressman, Jerry Conley, who you're going to get to hear from soon. And our really great supervisor, John Jenkins. And we'll start on this side. This is Jane Byer, who is the aide to Supervisor Maureen Cadigan. And Maureen, would you stand at this time? Maureen, thank you for being with us. A real friend to Dale City. And we have Mova. Mova is representing her mom and dad, Dr. Ruth and Ed Baxter. And guess what? We have our sheriff. We never miss having our sheriff, Glenn Hill. Thank you. And Mrs. Carolyn Hill, his wonderful wife. Then we couldn't do this banquet without Lisa Higgs. Lisa is great. And she is our trustee who keeps us straight with our money and everything else. And of course who do we have down there? Keith Scarborough. You're going to get to hear a lot about Keith. And Keith is going to be our presenter of all the awards this evening. And of course, you've already heard from our president, James Hicks, behind me. And out in the audience, we have another wonderful school board member, Mrs. Lily Jesse, and her husband, Jesse. And we have our former school board member from Potomac, many years, Miss Betty Covington. Woo! And a former supervisor from the Woodbridge District, Hilda Bard. And a wonderful former school board member who served many years in the Neabsco District for many things, but he was the first African American to serve on our school board, Mr. John Harper. And Miss BJ. And a I don't know if we have General Gaskell in the audience. He was supposed to come. But anyway, we thank him for his donation and his support to us. Okay, we have Mr. Dr. George Hampton, who has supported Dale City many, many, many years. And let me see who I've missed. Oh, we have some new webmasters for Dale City Civic Association. They need to stand because they are wonderful. Mohammed Janjoa. Mohammed? Back in the back. And Marcus Lynn. They're both wonderful young men who give their time. Okay. And at this time, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, we do have another school board member, former school board, Mr. John David Allen. Thank you, John, for being here. What's her name? We have a visiting person all the way from Richmond. Diane, can you help me with Shonda? And she is a school board member from the Richmond area. Could you please stand, Shonda? Thank you for coming. All the way from Richmond in the blizzard. Okay, if I have missed any elected officials or representative of the community, all you are representatives. So if we did that, we'd be here till the next blizzard. So, thank you all for coming, and at this time, I'd like to introduce you to our very own Congressman Jerry Conley for a few words.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me in the back? Raise your hand if you can hear me. All right, good. Well, it's great to be with you at Dale City again, celebrating this incredible community of 70,000, and so much going on. And thank my good friend John Jenkins for looking at new ways to revitalize and refresh. Very important. You know, I was driving here tonight, and I couldn't believe the mounds of snow along 123. And it reminded me of my first blizzard as an elected official. It was the blizzard of 1996, and it shut down the area for a whole week. And even though, as John Jenkins will tell you, in Virginia, plowing the streets and counties is a state responsibility. We in Prince William and we in Fairfax don't plow streets. We don't own streets. The state does. However, when you get a blizzard like this and your street has been plowed, you call who you know.
Yeah.
And that's always your local supervisor.
Yeah.
So in 1996, I took 900 phone calls. The angriest being in my own neighborhood. What good did it do that one of our neighbors on the board if he couldn't get the streets plowed? And the angriest was one guy who wouldn't give his name, and he just lit into me. What you politicians are all alike, and what are we elected for, what do we pay you for, you don't do anything. And when he kind of had a pause for breath, I said, well, sir, as you know, it's a state responsibility, but I'll take the information, and I would actually drive over to VDOT. They got so sick of seeing me, they actually gave me a caravan of plows. A godsend for a politician. But anyway, so I started to say, as you know, it's a state, don't give me that, you're slumping off responsibility, and he went off on another tirade. So when he finally had to come up for breath, I said, well, sir, would it make you feel any better if you knew my street hasn't yet been plowed? To which he said, no, now I know you're ineffective. Local government. Keep you humble. Keep you humble. I told that story a few years later, and a guy jumps up who lives 3 doors down from me and said, that was me. My own neighbor. Anyway, thank God we didn't have to plow tonight to get here. And it's so great to see you all. We're celebrating our vibrant civic life tonight. And the honorees and the nominees, every one of you has made an incredible contribution to our community. We can't function without a vibrant civic life. In public office, in volunteering, in mentoring, whatever it may be, and in students in terms of academic excellence. We celebrate in Dale City incredible diversity, but we are one community. And frankly, a lot of that credit goes to our longtime supervisor and his able partner, John and Ernestine Jenkins. Not everything in Congress passes unanimously, but I am pleased to tell you that I did a certificate of recognition for all of our awardees tonight, and there was no opposition. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Have a great night. Thank you. And I'm leaving them with you. Who's that? There you go.
I missed one very, very important former superintendent of schools from Colonial Beach. She has been, I think, every position you could think about in the educational field. She's been a teacher, a principal, a superintendent, a lay leader in the community, a leader in the community, and I'd like to recognize her, and she's a big part of making this banquet happen this evening, and that's Dr. Alice Howard. Dr. Howard, you can stand.
Okay, now we will call on our narrator for tonight, Mr. Keith Yarborough.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear in the back? Okay, this is, I think, my 6th or 7th year to have the opportunity to present these awards. It's really a great opportunity because every year Ernestine delivers a bunch of binders and notebooks that have the stories of all the people that have been nominated for the various awards tonight. And it really is an opportunity to learn about those stories and to learn about the people that live in this community and the service that they provide every day. And so even though some of you were nominated but are not winners, every person who is nominated is a winner for this event. Now this is kind of an unusual event. It is sort of a combination of the Academy Awards, the State of the Union, and Senior Prom, all rolled up into one event. Now, before I get started, I have to take just a minute to deliver a public service announcement. One of my volunteer jobs, I am the Secretary of the Prince William County Board of Elections. And as most of you know, we have the blessing in Virginia that we vote every year. Now, some of you may think that's a curse rather than a blessing, but how many of you are fired up about the 2016 presidential election? Anybody? And do we have anybody that's feeling the burn, or any trumpeters in the audience tonight? So the whole election season kicks off next Monday with the Iowa caucuses, and then we have the New Hampshire primary. And I think the chances are pretty good this year that those elections are not going to decide who the nominees are. In Virginia, we have a presidential primary on March 1st. We're part of a process called Super Tuesday. There are a whole bunch of South and Southeastern states that all have primaries on March 1st. We just had, in fact, the first election training for our officers this morning. And so on March 1st, we will have 3 Democrats on the ballot, and we will have 13 Republicans on the ballot. So we've started absentee in-person voting already. A number of people in Prince William County work outside the county. So if you qualify to vote absentee, please take advantage of that opportunity. You can vote absentee in person over at the DMV in Woodbridge. The deadline to register is February 8th. And so again, just be aware, as we get closer to the Super Tuesday, you're going to start hearing more and more. Since 2008, Virginia and Prince William County have become a battleground state and a battleground county in presidential politics. So I hope you all take advantage of the opportunity to vote on March 1st. Now, some of you may remember that we had long lines at the general election in 2012, and we've done some things to address that. We have brand new voting equipment. We're going to be voting on paper ballots in March and in November. One of the other things we decided to try, so for this November's election, we're going to have Democrats vote on Tuesday and Republicans vote on Wednesday. So hopefully that will cut down with the long lines. So our first award tonight, so it took a while to sort of filter, yeah. Everybody's, wait, I don't get it, all right. So our first award is the Dale City Volunteer Fire Department Awards. I'd like to call Chief Huell and President Grishala to please come forward. And we have 4 individuals who are receiving awards: Firefighter of the Year, Robert Willis; EMS Provider of the Year, Lauren Clauser; Fire Officer of the Year, Sergeant Robert O.J. Best; and Cadet of the Year, Tristan Toro. So if you would all please come forward. Okay. Firefighter of the Year. Starting at the recruit level, Technician Alex Willis has progressed through the ranks of the department. After years as a firefighter and engine company driver operator, he recently completed his training process to become an engine company incident officer. He's always willing to pick up open shifts to make sure the department can maintain its service to our community. Technician Willis has done an outstanding job throughout his years with the department. EMS Provider of the Year, Lauren Clauser, I don't think is with us tonight. Lauren Clauser came to the department with a desire to excel in the EMS field, and she certainly met that goal. After completing her EMT training, Lauren entered the BLS internship program to become a lead provider. She's a leader in the station and on the scene of an emergency. According to her peers, Lauren is always the first one to step up and help take control of any situation. Fire Officer of the Year, Sergeant Robert O.J. Best. Since joining the department, Sergeant Best has steadily progressed up the ranks. He's a leader in training recruits, a member of the department's board of directors, and the chair of the department's IT committee. Sergeant Best is in charge of a duty crew that can total up to 16 people, depending on the shift. Through his actions and demeanor, he has been able to take many chaotic scenes and turn them into calm and controlled environments. And finally, the Cadet of the Year, who also is not here, Tristan Toro. Tristan could not be here tonight, but I think he has a good excuse. He is currently in Paris Island, South Carolina, doing his boot camp training for the United States Marine Corps. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your service. You guys want to say anything? Go ahead. Next, we have the Prince William County Department of Fire and Rescue Awards. Is that better? Okay. I'd like to ask Battalion Chief Sean Crispin to please come forward, and also the two individuals that are being recognized: Career Firefighter of the Year, Technician 1 Andrew Hale, and the Career EMT of the Year, Technician 2 Mike Militello. If you'd please come forward. Okay, Technician 1 Andrew Hale has been assigned to Rescue 510 at Station 10 since the beginning of last year. Rescue 510 is the primary trench rescue response vehicle for the east end of the county, and Andrew is a critical part of that service. He built a relationship with United Rentals, the company that makes all of the trench boxes for local construction crews, in order to set up training sessions for his colleagues. Andrew also made contacts with the county's transportation department to identify the houses that are going to be torn down, which can also be used for training for multiple units across the county. He has attended training classes throughout the state, and he used his own funds to build training props that are stored at Station 10. Career EMT of the Year, Technician 2 Mike Militello, moved from Buffalo, New York to Prince William County in 1999 to become a career firefighter. In 2007, he decided to become a paramedic, and he's been assigned to Medic 520 at Dale City Fire Station 20 for the last 5 years. Mike has the ability to stay calm in very stressful situations and make his patients feel at ease. Recently, after he had dropped a patient off at the ER, a car pulled up with a child who was in severe distress. Mike helped to get the child into the ER and helped the staff there to stabilize the young man. This is just one example of the care he provides to his patients every year. So congratulations to each of you. Thank you. You guys want to say anything? Okay. The next award is Police Officer of the Year, and I'd like to invite Captain Vago and Officer William Bowler to please come forward. Officer William Bowler is a young, proactive officer who is assigned to the Dale City area. Last summer, he was patrolling in the parking lot at the On the Border restaurant where he saw 3 suspicious persons standing around a backpack that was on the parking lot. All 3 denied that the backpack was theirs. Go figure. When he inspected it, Officer Bowler found several ounces of cocaine and several other items, including 3 red box DVDs in the backpack. Now, since there was no probable cause to arrest any of the individuals there, they were all released from the scene. But Officer Bowler was determined to find the owner of the backpack and the drugs. So he contacted Redbox and gave them the serial numbers from the 3 DVDs. Redbox was able to provide the name of the person who had rented the DVDs, and Officer Bowler was able to identify one of the 3 persons he saw in the parking lot through a police database. He was able to obtain warrants and arrested the suspect for possession with intent to distribute cocaine. So this is one example of the kind of leadership that he provides on a daily basis in Dale City. So congratulations and thanks for your service.
Good evening. On behalf of, can you hear me? On behalf of Chief Steve Hudson and the entire Prince William County Police Department, I just want to thank the Dale City Civic Association for their ongoing recognition and support. I'd also like to mention that in addition to Officer Bowler's accomplishment that you just heard about, that is one, as he said, that is one in many. He has made well over 100 criminal arrests last year, and this is the officer you want in your community, considering he doesn't even have 2.5 years on the department. He is a model officer. I'd be remiss if I don't recognize also that Officer Bowler is joined tonight by his wife, his parents, his sister, other members of his family, and his squad, and I think you guys know that no good success story comes without a strong support system. So I'd like to thank all of them for being here tonight. And again, once again, I'd like to thank Officer Bowler. Outstanding work and great job. Appreciate it.
The next award is for the Deputy Sheriff of the Year. I'd like to invite Sheriff Glenn Hill and Deputy Thomas T.C. Williams to please come forward. According to Sheriff Hill, Deputy T.C. Williams is a dedicated humanitarian who has a generous heart. He uses his connections in the horse training field to schedule field trips to horse farms and shows for kids with emotional and behavioral issues. Deputy Williams also provides help out of his own pocket to people he has met through his job. For example, when he was transporting a prisoner during the recent holiday season, he learned that the prisoner had no money for gifts for his children. So Deputy Williams secretly provided gifts for those children under the name of their parents. Sheriff Hill says that Deputy Williams is an outstanding representative of the Sheriff's Office and all that is good in society. So congratulations to Deputy T.C. Williams.
my sincere thanks to the Dale City Civic Association for putting on this program. You do an awesome job, and I look forward to coming each year. And what this association does is sends a loud and compelling message to the community that you care. And thank you so much for recognizing my Deputy Sheriff of the Year. God bless.
Congratulations again, and I have to say, on a personal note, I'm glad to see the sheriff is in such a great good mood. The sheriff and I had a sort of a political disagreement this year about a year ago this time over being listed on the ballot in the primary. You may have heard that the chairman of the Republican committee failed to file the paperwork to put the sheriff and the other elected Republicans on the primary ballot. And the sheriff and those individuals. Okay. All right, so the sheriff and those individuals came to the electoral board and said, well, we missed the deadline, we screwed up, but we think you should put us on the primary ballot anyway. Well, one of the other electoral board members is also a lawyer, and we looked at the law and we made the decision that we didn't have the authority to put someone on the ballot when the county official had missed a filing deadline. And so the sheriff and the Board of Supervisors sued us as electoral board members. Now, it's never good to be sued. That's never a good day. But when you're sued by the sheriff, that's the worst kind of day at all to have. Now, fortunately, everything worked out great. The lawsuit was dismissed, but as you all know, Sheriff Hill was overwhelmingly reelected in November, so no harm, no foul. No, but I will tell you, I really watched my driving very carefully for a couple of months during that. So the next award is presented, the Kathy Feeney Nurse of the Year Award. I'd like to invite Patricia Hill, who is the Director of Nursing from Centera, and Angela Cronin to please come forward. Angela Cronin has been an important part of the Centera Northern Virginia Medical Center team for over 5 years. She currently works in the Intermediate Care Unit. Angela is a former Marine and now an active member of the National Guard. According to her colleagues, Angela has a unique ability to personalize herself with her patients, allowing them to feel safe and secure during their stay in the hospital. She is active on several committees and is a strong advocate for best practices in healthcare. So congratulations to Ms. Angela Cronin.
Thank you.
The next award is for the Business of the Year. And the Business of the Year, Haynesview LLC, which is owned by Mrs. LaBrenda Haynes. I'd like to invite her to come forward. Haynesview provides residential and support services for adults with intellectual disabilities. The company develops each individual's social, emotional, and communication skills and provides a safe living environment for all of its residents. Mrs. Hayes earned her bachelor's degree in social work and a master's degree in nursing from the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. She is an active member of the Prince William County chapter of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women and the Prince William County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. So please join me in congratulating Mrs. LaBrenda Haynes.
I just want to thank the Dale City Civic Association for this honor, the award. I also want to thank my husband, Colonel retired Jacob Haynes, that's here with me tonight, my daughter and son-in-law and grandbaby. I want to especially thank Dr. Howard, Alice Howard. I love you to death. I want to thank my family. This table here and back there, all my family, my godchildren, everybody, and especially my bishop. Thank you so much, my spiritual leader, I just thank you, and First Lady Cassandra Thomas. Thank you all for being here. Love you.
Okay, next I'd like to, the next awards are the John Jenkins Youth Citizen of the Year, and I'd like to invite Supervisor Jenkins and Supervisor Maureen Cadigan to please come to the stage to help present the awards. And I would also invite the 9 individuals who have been nominated. Those persons are Haley Copeland from Garfield. Please come to the stage. Laverne Curry from Freedom, Nathan Egbert from Garfield, Haneen Elfaki from Garfield, Sarah Howell from Hilton, Meredith Oakes from Garfield, Abdullah Shahid from Garfield, Emily Staclosa from Garfield, and Nancy Zhao, also from Garfield. Spread out a little bit so everybody can see you. Okay, so when I call your name, wave, or so people know who you are. Okay, Haley Copeland is a senior at Garfield and is a senior class president. She's been a member of the varsity cheer squad for 4 years and is the captain this year. Haley has been a volunteer for several years with the Dale City 4th of July Parade and American Legion Post 364. She hopes to have a career in the medical field. Laverne Curry is a senior at Freedom. She was selected for the American Youth Leadership Program, which is funded by the United States State Department. Laverne served as an ambassador for the U.S. in Cyprus during the summer last year, one of only 18 students in the country selected for this honor. She has worked for the Keep Prince William Beautiful group to clean up areas in Dale City and in the courtyard of her school. Laverne is very active at her church, First Mount Zion Baptist Church. She's a section leader for the marching band, a member of the Model UN, and treasurer for the Oceanography Club. Nathan Egbert is a senior at Garfield. It's great how they lined up in alphabetical order. He's an active member of the Marine JROTC program, serving as a drill commander and a squad leader. He received the National Sojourner's Medal as a junior for patriotism and interest in the military. Nathan was part of the color guard for the National Missing Children's Day observance at the U.S. Justice Department building. He's a member of the varsity golf and baseball teams and plans to major in business or economics this fall at Texas A&M. So go Aggies, right? Haneen El-Faki is a senior in the IB program at Garfield. She is the senior class vice president, treasurer of the African American History Club, and an active member of the Muslim Student Association. She's a volunteer at Sentara Medical Center and a member of the Youth Foundation for Networking and Friendship. She's a peer diversity trainer who works with the guidance counselors at her school to promote tolerance and respect for everyone. She plans to become a dentist. Sarah Howell is a senior at Hilton. She's a member of the National Honor Society, active with the Model UN, and a member of the basketball, cross-country, and track teams. Last year, Sarah founded the school's Poetry Slam. This year, she went to St. Louis for the National Youth Leadership Council meeting and was awarded the top prize for a female leader. Sarah has had perfect attendance at school for 7 consecutive years. And been on the principal's honor roll for 6 consecutive years. She attended the Governor's School at Innovation Park, a very selective year-long STEM program at George Mason University. Meredith Oakes is a senior in the IB program at Garfield and a member of the National Honor Society. She has served with distinction as a 4-year member of the Marine Corps JROTC program. In fact, she is the most decorated cadet in the history of that school's program. Meredith is a member of the softball and swim team and she's a peer diversity mediator. She was accepted as an early decision applicant at Virginia Tech, where she plans to major in biochemistry and become a doctor. Abdullah Shahid is a senior in the IB program at Garfield and a member of the National Honor Society. He's an active member of the Key Club, the Chemistry Club, and the Model UN. Abdullah also volunteers his time in the community. He has volunteered over 200 hours of service at the Dale City Library and at the Sentara Medical Center. He's a chemistry tutor and a member of the school's lacrosse team. Emily Stoklosa is a senior at Garfield and member of the National Honor Society. She's been a member of the school's yearbook staff for 4 years and is the editor this year. Emily's an active member of the Chemistry Club, the Key Club, and she has a black belt in karate. For several years, she has worked as a summer school teaching assistant, helping students with reading and math. Emily has also been very active at her church, Holy Family Catholic Church, where she has worked as a weekend retreat facilitator for confirmation candidates for the past 4 years. Nancy Zhao is a senior at Garfield and a member of the National Honor Society. She's the president of the Student Council Association and vice president of the Students Against Destructive Decisions Club. Nancy's a member of the lacrosse and field hockey teams and is a chemistry tutor. She is also a volunteer with the Dale City Volunteer Fire Department. So please, congratulations to all of the 9 nominees for the John Jenkins Youth Citizen Award. And I think we can all say that with these young people growing up and becoming persons with responsibility in the future, that the future is in good hands for all of us. So the Youth Citizen of the Year is awarded to Sarah Howell from Hilton.
Sarah, here's a certificate attesting to your award. Here's a nice plaque. You can just put it. For all of you, congratulations. You're nominated. For the rest of you, I have certificates. I do it.
Oh, okay.
Name?
Hi, everybody. I'm honestly very honored, quite surprised. Thank you for everyone. So many of you guys in this room have helped me to accomplish so many of, what he listed. So I thank each and every one of you. Thank you for my family, my support system. Thank God. Shout out to the Hilton table over there. Yeah, and again, I can just say thank you. There's nothing more I can say.
Congratulations.
And I also just want to mention that Sarah will be receiving a scholarship that is being provided by Donnie Hilton and the Hilton Group, the developers of Dale City. So the next award is for the Youth Environmental and Conservation Award. I'd like to ask former Delegate David Brickley to please come forward, and also the 3 people who have been nominated for this award: Kelly Flynn from Garfield, Rebecca Hawkins from Freedom, and Kelly Tran from Garfield. All right. Kelly Flynn is a senior in the IB program at Garfield. She plans to major in environmental sciences in college with a career goal as a biochemist. Kelly is passionate about the environment and volunteers at the Occoquan Bay National Wildlife Refuge. She's a member of the National Honor Society, the varsity cheerleading team, and the varsity softball team. Kelly has been a new student orientation guide and a peer diversity trainer. Rebecca Hawkins is a senior at Freedom, the Center for Environmental Science. She's an active member of the Oceanography Club and the Horticulture Club. Rebecca was a founding officer of the Bee Club, which focuses on the impact of bees on the environment. And there's been a lot of discussion in the press recently about the situation with the bee population. She has taken part in cleanups in the town of Quantico and several parks in the county. According to one of her teachers, Rebecca is one of the top 5 students she has encountered in 20 years of teaching. Kelly Tran is a senior in the IB program at Garfield and is committed to protecting the environment. She's been a member of the Green Club since her freshman year and serves as the recycling project leader for the school. Kelly is a volunteer at Prince William County Forest Park, where she helps maintain the trails. She's an active member of Students Against Destructive Decisions Club, the Math Club, the Chemistry Club, and the Chamber Orchestra. The Environmental and Conservation Award is presented to Rebecca Hawkins from Freedom High School.
Okay. She's thinking. You know, when you see these youth, you know that we're in good hands for the future. And Lori and I are very pleased, first of all, to see the youth of Prince William County be honored such as this, and to see what a wonderful job that they're doing, and just to know that the future is very bright indeed, because we probably haven't made the best decisions in the world as far as the environment and conservation go, and we're looking forward to these leaders of the future to get that done correctly. Secondly, I'm pleased, Rebecca, on behalf of my wife and I, to present with you a $500 check to be used for your educational needs in the future. We hope that you enjoy it and put it to good use. And lastly, before I see if we can get Rebecca, just to say 1 minute, if any of you have not really been involved in the Civic Association of Dale City, think about it again, because 35 years ago, I was here installing the officers of the Dale City Civic Association for their election to their office, and I happened to meet this young, gorgeous gal that I was installing as secretary of the Civic Association. Well, 35 years ago, we are still married, and so there are great things that can happen for you. Get involved with DECA.
Thank you, everyone, for giving me, I'm very honored to receive this award for my contribution for the environment, and I think we should all take part in conserving the environment. It's very important to the world, and thank you very much.
So now I would like to, our next awards would be presented to the Elementary Teachers of the Year. I'd like to invite our school board members, Diane Ralston and Lily Jesse, to please come forward to help present those awards. Now, I've got to tell you, I've heard Dave Brickley for a lot of years, but to have him admit publicly that he was using DECA as a dating club. So I'd like to invite the Elementary Teacher of the Year nominees to please come forward. Mrs. Letitia Barrow from McAuliffe, Mrs. Mary Beth Kofsky from Neabsco, Mrs. Carmen Hankerson from Neabsco, Mrs. Ashley Hoyle from Minnieville, Ms. Pam Lansbury from King, Ms. Megan Pettit from Carrydale, and Mr. Kevin Weaver from Dale City. That's all 7? Okay. Mrs. Letitia Barrow is a 4th grade teacher at McAuliffe. She's part of the school leadership team and an active member of the PTA. Mrs. Barrow conducts math workshops before and after school, and she's served as an after-school teacher in the Alpha Best childcare program. She meets her students every day at the classroom with a warm greeting, and she continuously reaches out to the parents to make them a part of the school community. Mrs. Mary Beth Kofsky is an ESL teacher at Neabsco. She is trained in reading recovery and teaches the most struggling learners how to read. Mrs. Kofsky has led the Parents as Educational Partners program to help families from around the world become more comfortable with our school system. Her positive impact goes far beyond her building. Mrs. Kofsky is an instructor of a county staff development course on reading and writing theory. Mrs. Carmen Hankerson is a 2nd grade teacher at Neabsco. She has spent her entire teaching career of over 25 years at that school. She's a member of the PTO and takes part in a number of after-school activities, from movie and restaurant nights to tutoring. Mrs. Hankerson has been a mentor to new teachers in the building and served as a team leader for many years. According to her principal, she is the epitome of an exceptional educator, and it is a true privilege to work beside her every day. Mrs. Ashley Hoyle is a 3rd grade teacher at Minnieville. She's a mentor for new teachers and has served as the lead for the 3rd grade team for 2 years with incredible results. Mrs. Hoyle's 3rd grade team was the highest performing team on the Math SOL in the entire school division, 1st out of 59 elementary schools. She chairs the Community Involvement Articulation Team, always looking for new ways to involve parents. And since she arrived at Minnieville, parental involvement hours have increased from 500 to over 3,500. Mrs. Hoyle is an avid runner, and she started a running club for boys and girls at the school. According to one colleague, if you could bottle the enthusiasm of Mrs. Hoyle and sell it, our problems with school funding would never be an issue again. Ms. Pam Lansbury has her own cheering section. Is a librarian at King. In addition to building a library that is welcoming for both students and parents, she has made a positive difference for the climate at their school. As a member of the Positive Behavior Intervention Committee, she helps provide positive recognition for the students, including phone calls home to tell their parents what a good job that those students are doing. Mrs. Lansbury serves on the Principals Advisory Council to give input on school operations and the budget. She has served on the PTO board and is an active member of the Literacy Committee and the Yearbook Committee. Mrs. Megan Pettit is a Prince William County Schools graduate who is now a music teacher at Carrydale. She loves music and her students, and she works to get the parents involved as well. Between drop-off for choir, concerts, and her activities for bus duty, Ms. Pettit interacts with the parents and makes them feel that they are indeed an important part of the Carrydale community. She has 70 students in her choir. Can you imagine 70 elementary school students? 70 students in her choir and even more on a waiting list. Ms. Pettit worked this summer to get extra music certifications to become an even better teacher. Mr. Kevin Weaver came to Dale City Elementary in 2008 as a fourth grade teacher, and he is now the instructional technology specialist. He's a sponsor of the school's robotics club, which gives students hands-on experience with many different kinds of technologies. Mr. Weaver is in charge of the school news team, which telecasts the daily morning news and announcements. He's part of the Encore team, which puts together amazing shows, activities, and award ceremonies for the student body. In addition to being the go-to tech guy for his own school, Mr. Weaver is called on by schools across the county for his technology expertise. So a round of applause for all the elementary school nominees. And the Elementary Teacher of the Year Award is presented to Mrs. Ashley Hoyle from Minnieville.
Woo! Wow. Well, I started this year, somebody stopped me in the hallway and they said, you know, I read a quote that reminded me of you. And I've now taken that quote and lived by it. And it's, I didn't come this far to only come this far. And I think that I've taken that and I've just transformed my life into living by that quote, both at school, in the community. And I think for me, I've realized that I can't do that. I can't be the best and then be better without an amazing support group. I've got a mother who has just cheered me on through the hardest time of my life. I've got an amazing group, colleagues. They're amazing. I can't give enough support and enough kudos to my principal who's believed in me and has pushed me for the last 4 years. And lastly, my husband, you know, who's just been my rock completely. So thank you again.
Next, we have the award for Middle School Teacher of the Year. The nominees are Ms. Donna Morgan from Bevel Middle School. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing. I actually tried to call the school to make sure the pronunciation, and guess what? They weren't they were closed. So Ms. Marcy Petrandria from Godwin Middle School. Is she here? All right, well, she didn't hear me butcher her name, so that's... Ms. Donna Morgan is the IB coordinator and a language arts creative writing teacher at Bevel. She began teaching there in 2012, a transplant from North Carolina. According to one colleague, Ms. Morgan embodies the quote, "A rising tide lifts all boats." She inspires and challenges her students and is actively involved in numerous activities in the building. Ms. Morgan loves music and theater, so she's an accompanist for the choir and the chorus, and she chairs the annual school's talent show. She also helps organize the annual awards program at the end of the school year, a program which hundreds of students and parents attend each year. Ms. Morgan is a member of the school leadership team and the multicultural committee. She does not have her own classroom, so she moves around the building and shares classrooms with other teachers, and they all say that she is a great roommate. Mrs. Marcy Pietrenda is a 6th grade language arts teacher at Godwin. She started her career there as a secretary in the front office, worked as a guidance counselor, and then became a language arts teacher after receiving her certification. She's a member of the school leadership team and the school advisory council, and she coaches the girls softball team. She is the grant coordinator for the school's 21st Century After School program, which provides academic enrichment for over 100 students. The program funds teachers to stay after school and also to help students by taking them to the Dale City Recreation Center to work off some of that excess energy. The middle school teacher of the year is Ms. Donna Morgan from Bevel.
As stated before, we don't do anything in a vacuum. Teachers are part of a community, and we're supported by those who work with us and those who work for us, and you as a community, and I'm very proud and happy to be part of this teaching community. Thank you very much.
Next is the award for High School Teacher of the Year, and we have four persons who have been nominated. Mrs. Maritza Blandon from Freedom, Mr. Juan Carlos Sempredo from Hilton, Mrs. Karen Shaver from Garfield, and Miss Lauren Wilson from Hilton. Mrs. Maritza Blandon has been a Spanish teacher in the World Language Program at Freedom for 9 years. She taught in Fairfax County for several years before moving to Prince William. Mrs. Blandon has represented the school on several county-wide curriculum and textbook adoption committees. She leads the school division's professional learning community for Spanish for native speakers. Mrs. Blandon has produced outstanding student achievement results. 39 of her advanced studies students took the AP Spanish test last year, and all 39 passed. She's a sponsor of the Spanish Honor Society and the Spanish Club, and she uses art and music in her classes to help students learn real-world applications of the language. Mr. Juan Carlos Sempedro has been a history teacher for 9 years at Hilton, the school from which he graduated. He is a first-generation American and only the second person in his family to graduate from college. Most of his students are English language learners, so he faces challenges that other colleagues don't in the building. In addition to the language barrier, many of his students feel alienated from American history and culture. Mr. Sempedro finds some way to build a common interest with these students, often through sports. He is a techie and a member of the Hilton Tech team, where he helps his colleagues, students, and parents all adapt to the latest technology. One of the administrators at his school said this: "If I were to become a school principal, Juan Carlos Sempedro would be the very first person I would contact to start a social studies department." Mrs. Karen Shaver is a special education teacher at Garfield, where she teaches math. Teaching is actually her second career. From 1994 to 2000, Mrs. Shaver served as a Medical Corps officer in the United States Army. She is a lifelong learner who continues to expand her knowledge base. She has endorsements in the areas of learning disabilities, emotional disturbance, secondary math, secondary English, and ESL. Mrs. Shaver works with the new teachers to help them understand the requirements of special education. And she leads the intervention team at Garfield, which is responsible for helping to identify students who might need special education services. Mrs. Shaver is also the technological guru of her department. According to a colleague, her ability to touch a student's heart and help them overcome obstacles is her superpower. She teaches students to believe in themselves. She teaches students to believe in themselves, which opens their mind to endless possibilities. Miss Lauren Wilson has been a math teacher at Hilton for 15 years, and she is also a graduate of Hilton. So there's something about that school that brings them back, right? For the first 12 years, she coached varsity soccer and volleyball. Ms. Wilson is the lead mentor for new teachers and the calculus team leader. She sets high expectations for her students, and they are meeting them. Her Algebra 1 students have always had an 85% or higher SOL pass rate. She also teaches an AP calculus class, where her students have all surpassed the national average every year. Ms. Wilson is a lead organizer of the annual Kyle Wilson Walk for Fitness, a fundraiser for scholarships. As many of you know, Kyle was a Dale City firefighter who died in the line of duty. He was also a graduate of Hilton, a friend and brother-in-law to Ms. Wilson. So a round of applause for all the nominees. And the high school teacher of the year is Mrs. Karen Shaver from Garfield.
I was told to use my Army voice so they could hear me in the back. I'll step away. There we go. I'm only as awesome as I am because I work with the best team of teachers in Prince William County. So I just want to say thank you to Garfield High School for being as awesome as they are.
Hook the mic.
The next award is the Kathleen Seafelt Community Service Award. I'd like to ask Bob Seafelt to please come forward. This award, of course, is named for Kathleen Seafelt, who was chairman of the Board of County Supervisors for many years here. Our honoree has been actively involved in our community for several decades. She's the past president and board member of Women in Community Action. Under her leadership, that group has provided more than $50,000 in scholarships to high schools over the last 10 years. Our honoree is also a charter member of the Prince William County chapter of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, where she has helped develop a number of programs to serve the community. The chapter supports mentoring programs and also provides scholarships to high school students. Our honoree is also a grant writer who has helped the chapter receive hundreds of thousands of dollars for cancer awareness programs in African American churches throughout Prince William County. The Kathleen Seefeld Community Service Award is presented to Mary Lively.
Thank you. First of all, giving honor to God. I am totally surprised. First of all, giving honor to God, I'd like to say I'm very surprised and thankful, grateful for this award. I'd like to thank the Dale City Civic Association for the honor. I'd like to thank, I see so many faces that I'm familiar with, that table over there, Dr. Alice Howard, the Women in Community Action, the Coalition Sisters, the Digginists from First Mount Zion, all of my family there, my husband who is so supportive of me, my son. I am so honored tonight. Thank you all.
Yeah, congratulations to Mary. I first met her several years ago on the very first Luke Torian for House of Delegates campaign. And obviously she has made a tremendous commitment to our community. So congratulations and very well deserved to Mary. The next award is the Ernestine Jenkins Lifetime Achievement Award. And the general herself, Ernestine Jenkins, will be here to help present that award. Our honoree had a fulfilling career as a Prince William County teacher, most recently at Enterprise Elementary. She has donated more than 1,500 hours as a volunteer at Centera Hospital, working in both the surgical wing and the gift shop. She's a past president of the Bel Air Women's Club and takes part in every project of that group, including the county spelling bee, the fashion show, and the annual holiday meal for the Prince William County police officers. She is also a dedicated member of Sacred Heart Catholic Church, committed to the food pantry and all of the projects of the Knights of Columbus Ladies Auxiliary. Our honoree is a ray of sunshine and a pillar of strength for Dale City. The Ernestine Jenkins Lifetime Achievement Award is presented to Mrs. Mary Allen.
Mary just says, I can't say anything but thank you all.
Our next award is the Catherine Spillane Citizen of the Year Award. I'd like to invite Supervisor Jenkins and Cadigan to please come forward again. Our honoree for the Catherine Spillane Citizen of the Year Award has been a passionate advocate for the homeless for decades. Last June, she was selected to be the Director of Operations for the Helping Neighbors in Need Outreach Center. As one of 13 children, she learned at an early age to negotiate and to get to the bottom line. And those skills help her navigate the bureaucracies of local organizations to get the help that her clients need. As a result of her leadership, more than 200 clients, including 13 veterans, have received services at the center since last summer. When asked what her drives are, our honoree replied, "Love and anger." Unconditional love for all children and their families, and anger that our community can't find the resources to ensure that every citizen, especially our veterans, has a roof over their heads every night. The Catherine Spillane Citizen of the Year is presented to Mrs. Lucille Cahill.
I would like to thank everyone, but please remember, it's just not the homeless. It's just not our vets. Pastor Madeline opened our center to the community, and our community is suffering. And I'm a true believer our community is only as strong as all its members. So please, when you're in church, you're at the library, they're sitting next to you. Reach out to them. Thank you.
And the final award tonight is the DECA Outstanding Service Award. The Voice of Dale City is the heading on the Dale City Civic Association motto, which reads, "Dedicated to the betterment of the community and the continuing improvement of its environment through the active participation of its citizens." One of the life members of DECA wrote words to define what that acronym means. They are D for dedication, C for commitment to our community, C for caring and totally unselfish service to others, and A for astounding work. Our honoree tonight displays and embodies all of these qualities. He grew up in Dale City and played football in high school. He eagerly and willingly volunteers for any task needed, whether it's the parade and family fun day, the banquet committee, special projects for fundraising, membership, whatever the project is, he always gives his very best and is the last one standing. He devotes countless hours to senior citizens and is very active on the Disabilities Board. And he's also extremely active in voter registration. He portrays a passion for people and especially for those in need, as depicted by his active involvement in our homeless outreach. We proudly present the Dale City Civic Association Outstanding Service Award to Mr. Michael Bizik.
I was surprised.
Oh, come on.
Well, this is a real honor. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a real honor. It's been interesting, all the work we've done for the disabled, the elderly, children, and wounded vets. And, you know, I hit about 15,000 doors for Diane Ralston during her campaign. And I hope to, hopefully I won't have to do Mother Teresa's work by hitting every door in Neabsco and throughout Prince William, but hopefully we can help a lot of people who need the help. And I know Lucille Cahill has been terrific with the homeless, but we really do need the community spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for your commitment to Dale City. And again, congratulations to all of our award winners. Thank you.
We first would like to recognize Devin Cabot, who is here representing our newly elected Senator Jeremy McPike, who is working in the Senate tonight. So thank you, but thank you all of you for making this a very special evening, and we'll see you again next year. Bye-bye.